Sarah had run away from home for the 10th time. I spotted her outside a hotel with her childhood friend Mike. She was bragging smugly. Men are all scum. You can't be too nice to them. You have to keep them on their toes. I asked my friend Ashley to keep tabs on Jason for me. When the time is right, I'll make my grand reappearance. When I got home, I saw Ashley, beautiful and dutiful, washing my underwear. I came up behind her and gently grasped her soft fingers, my nose lightly brushing her ear. Ashley, since Sarah doesn't want me anymore anyway, why don't we give it a try? After Sarah ran away for the 10th time, I unexpectedly saw her on the street. She was standing outside the South Side Inn with some friends, looking proud of herself. Sarah, it's been about 2 weeks since you left, right? I asked. Yeah, so what? Sarah replied nonchalantly. Oh my God, Jason must be going crazy, one of her friends exclaimed. Seriously, he cares about you so much. How can you bear to leave him? Another chimed in. Come on, don't be so selfish. Go back to him. Even men have their limits, a third friend urged. Sarah lazily cut them off. Run away? Of course it's fake. With men, you have to keep them on edge. That's how you make them cling to you more. I asked Ashley to keep an eye on him for me. When the time is right, I'll make my grand reappearance. Wow, Sarah, that's quite the strategy. How did you come up with this running away idea in the first place? One friend asked admiringly. It was my idea, of course. The guy next to Sarah proudly put his arm around her shoulders. Like her pea brain could come up with something this clever? Sarah giggled and punched him playfully. Shut up, Mike. But Mike smirked and leaned in close, using his long fingers to tilt her chin up. Sarah, how do you plan to reward me for this brilliant plan? I didn't confront her. I quietly retreated around the corner and went to the supermarket to buy lots of vegetables and meat. I also stopped by an adult store. When I got home, I approached Ashley from behind as she was making soup in the kitchen. Any news about Sarah? I asked. No, Ashley replied. My nose lightly brushed her ear as I said, what should we do? This time, Sarah might really be done with me. Today, I had originally planned to go to the South Side and to ask my aunt for help. She's on a chain of hotels in that area for decades and has lots of connections. She was the one who helped me find Sarah the first time she ran away. Back then, I knocked on the hotel room door for an hour before Sarah finally opened it. Her long hair was slightly messy as she leaned softly against the small table in the entryway. I had been searching frantically for her for 3 days at that point, unable to eat or sleep. Without a word, I threw her onto the bed, my eyes blazing. Jason, have you lost your mind? Sarah gasped. Yes, I've gone crazy. I growled. You disappear without a word, and you have no idea how worried sick I've been. Ah, Jason, stop. Sarah cried out in pain, but I was relentless in teaching her a lesson. Are you going to run away again? I panted in her ear. Do you dare to do this again? She wrapped her arms around my neck, tears in her eyes. Jason, I swear I'll never run away again. But of course, where there's a first time, there will be countless more times. Over the next 3 years, she ran away with increasing frequency. If I said one wrong thing or failed to do something exactly as she wanted, she would immediately disappear. I had grown weary of this game of cat and mouse. I tried talking to her about it many times, but she seemed addicted to it, like she enjoyed the feeling. This time, I was going to disappoint her. At lunchtime, I was drinking the soup Ashley had made, lamb and goji berry today, and it was delicious. Jason, it's all my fault for not keeping a closer eye on Sarah. I should have stopped her that day, Ashley said guiltily. This time, Sarah had chosen to crash at Ashley's place as the first stop on her little escapade. According to Ashley, as soon as my call came through to her phone, Sarah guessed it was me. Without another word, and ignoring Ashley's protests, she grabbed her purse and rushed out. It's not your fault, I assured her. You know how stubborn Sarah is? No one can stop her once she sets her mind to something. After we finished eating, Ashley stood up. I thought she was about to leave, but to my surprise, she grabbed a laundry basket and went into the bathroom. An hour later, Ashley appeared on the balcony. She had even washed my underwear. In the 3 years Sarah and I had been together, I was always the one doing her laundry. The clothesline on the balcony was a bit high. Ashley had to stand on her tiptoes to reach it. With her long, slender fingers, she carefully smoothed out the wrinkles in the clothes. In the sunlight, her hands seemed to glow. Ashley, why haven't you found a boyfriend yet? I asked. I'm looking, but haven't found the right one, she replied casually as she continued hanging laundry. What kind of guy do you like? I have a few single friends. I could keep an eye out for you. Well, I have a thing for tall guys about your height. Someone who knows how to treat a woman right. Sexy lips would be nice. Ideally the type who looks slim in clothes, but has a nice muscular build underneath. Washboard abs are a plus. I chuckled. Ashley, why do I get the feeling you're describing someone very familiar? I came up behind her and grasped her hand as she was hanging clothes, intertwining our fingers as I gently kneaded the damp underwear. Ashley, since Sarah doesn't want me anymore anyway, why don't you take me in? I wrapped my other arm around her slim waist and pulled her close. Sarah's been gone for 2 weeks, and you've been making me healing soups that whole time. You need to take responsibility for me now. I let my lips ghost over her ear, cheek, and neck. Jason, you. I didn't let her finish. The next second, I turned her around and kissed her deeply. Ashley graduated from an elite university and now works as a designer at a foreign company. She has fair, delicate skin, big eyes, a swan-like neck, and a great figure. In public, she comes across as cool and reserved, like an icy flower on a cliff, beautiful but unapproachable. I'd barely spoken to her before. It wasn't until that first year after college graduation, when Sarah and I ran into her at a job fair, that I really noticed her. She was sitting quietly at the recruitment booth. I was stunned by her beauty. She was like a gentle breeze and clear moonlight, untainted by worldly dust. When she spoke to me, her bright eyes seemed to sparkle like stars. I submitted my resume. Later, Sarah told me she had privately slipped Ashley some money as a bribe. Ashley was her good friend, so that's why she helped out. Otherwise, a fresh graduate like me wouldn't have had a chance at a prestigious company like the one Ashley worked for. Come to think of it, Ashley was actually my direct supervisor. Whenever our little group got together for dinner, Sarah always liked to bring Ashley along. Ashley would always sit quietly by herself, drinking and eating without saying much, rarely joining in on our couple talk. The day Sarah ran away, Ashley came over. She felt guilty for not stopping Sarah and said she wanted to check on me and make sure I was eating properly. From that day on, I drank her nourishing soups for 2 weeks straight. She made a different kind every day. I never got tired of them. Although this morning when I was washing my face, I did get a nosebleed that wouldn't stop. Before, I had only thought of Ashley as a delicate snow lotus, too refined for mundane tasks. I had no idea she was so capable around the house, doing laundry, cooking, tending to plants. When I came home from work, she would even come up behind me and massage my sore neck. Her technique was unique. Each time it would send pleasant tingles all the way to the base of my skull. Ashley's domestic skills and gentleness were something Sarah could never match. I had cooked for Sarah and done her laundry for 3 years, and she would still find things to nitpick about. This latest disappearing act was because she had gone out drinking with some friends until 1 a.m. I scolded her a bit when she got home, probably too harshly. When I woke up the next morning, the bed was empty. She had run off again. It wasn't until the day that I realized this brilliant running away idea had actually come from Mike. Mike was her childhood friend, and the two of them were so close they would hang all over each other right in front of me. The last time she ran away, my aunt had used her connections to check the guest registers of nearly every hotel in the south side of town, but we couldn't find her anywhere. Now I strongly suspect she was hiding out at Mike's place that time. And this time, to better keep tabs on me, she had even roped her good friend Ashley into her little scheme. Right now, Ashley was in the bathroom, her graceful silhouette visible through the glass door. Earlier, I had pinned her to the bed for 3 hours. Only after using up all the strawberry-flavored condoms I bought today did I reluctantly let her go. Ashley's phone on the nightstand had been ringing nonstop. She didn't have a passcode, so I opened up her chat history with Sarah. Their last conversation was yesterday morning. Sarah, did Jason go to work today? Ashley, no. He took 5 days off to look for you. He's going to lose his perfect attendance bonus again this month. Sarah, who cares about some bonus? I'm way more important to him. I couldn't help but laugh coldly when I saw this. Sarah, you have no idea. Your makeup alone costs $300 a month. You never wear the same outfit twice. Your car needs gas and maintenance, rent, and utilities. I pay for all of it. You talk about it so casually, but without money. How am I supposed to support you? I kept reading. Ashley, if you don't love him, just break up. Don't waste your life on one guy. Sarah, I do love him. Running away is just one of the ways I show my love and care for him. Ashley. Sarah. Sis, you just don't get it. Men are all scum. You can't be too nice to them. A little torture makes things more interesting. Ashley didn't reply after that. A notification popped up for a group chat that caught my attention. The group was called Runaway Princess Wants Happiness. Runaway Princess. Ashley just said that loser Jason is still taking time off work to search everywhere for me. Big bro Mike. Princess, my idea was good, wasn't it? Runaway Princess. Ha, I'll have to reward you properly. Big bro Mike. Then let's meet at X Bar tonight, the usual spot. Wear that low-cut lace dress. Runaway Princess. No way. I just bought that today. I'm saving it for when Jason finally finds me. Big bro Mike immediately sent a crying emoji. Runaway Princess. All right, you can get a sneak peek tonight. Consider yourself lucky. Big bro Mike sent back a lewd emoji. Someone named Half the Kingdom chimed in. Why do I get the feeling Jason's about to become a cuckold? Runaway Princess quickly sent a pouting emoji. Mike and I are just friends. Nothing more, nothing less. I scoffed. Sarah, you're really good at fooling yourself. New messages popped up. Sarah had sent Ashley a private chat. Sarah. Ashley, did Jason ask you about that night? I typed a question mark, imitating Ashley's style. Sarah, you know, that time I ran away and got super drunk. I woke up and realized I was in the same bed as Mike. I replied in Ashley's voice. You and Mike are friends. What's the big deal about sharing a bed? Sarah, come on, he's still a guy. It's so embarrassing I can't talk about it anymore. She instructed Ashley. Remember, if Jason asks, insist that I went home with you that night. So that's how it is. Every time Mike sees Sarah, his eyes light up like a hungry cat eyeing a mouse. Turns out the cat had already gotten a taste. These past few days, I stopped searching for Sarah, which clearly made her panic. She called Ashley 3 times in one night, asking if I had gone to work, how my mood was, if I was eating properly. The last time she called, Ashley and I were in the middle of fun activities. I picked up the phone and put it on speaker. Sarah sounded a bit frazzled. Ashley, what's going on? For 2 days straight, I haven't had a single missed call when I checked my phone. Apparently, Sarah had taken me off her block list now that she wasn't seeing any reaction from me. Hello? Ashley, are you listening? He might be too busy. Ashley struggled to speak. Ashley, what are you doing? Is there a guy with you? I deliberately teased Ashley, making her let out a moan. Wow. Ashley, you sexy thing. Are you seeing someone? Sorry, did I interrupt you guys? She hadn't finished speaking before I couldn't hold back anymore. Baby, it's my turn now, I whispered in Ashley's left ear. Ashley could barely form words. There was a moment of silence on the other end of the line. Ashley, who are you with? I could have sworn I heard Jason's. I didn't let her finish. I reached over and hung up the phone. Baby, focus. Let's finish what we started. 20 minutes later, Ashley came out of the bathroom looking worried. Jason, aren't you afraid? Sarah might come storming back any minute now. I gently patted her face with the hand holding my cigarette. Ashley, why did you agree to Sarah's request to keep tabs on me in the first place? Ashley was taken aback. Jason, how did you find out? I smiled. I ran into Sarah on the street. I know who the mastermind is, and that you were part of her plan too. Jason, are you angry? How could I be? I'm lucky it was you watching over me. Why do you say that? I leaned in to kiss her slightly swollen lips. Ashley, I don't love Sarah anymore. I admit I used to love her very much. But now I'm tired. Ashley, do you know what a man hates most? What a man hates most is a woman's infidelity. Although Sarah's selfish behavior had worn me down, the final straw was her ambiguous relationship with Mike. I had long suspected something was going on between Sarah and Mike behind my back. Even this running away game was Mike's idea for her. Though I never caught them in the act, it didn't take much imagination to figure out what was going on. Ashley lowered her head, her long hair hiding half her face. When she looked up again, her bright eyes were brimming with tears. Jason, am I a bad person too? A despicable homewrecker? I took her hand. Ashley, you don't need to feel guilty. Even without you, Sarah and I wouldn't have lasted much longer. It just so happens that you appeared in my life, and I happened to fall in love with you. I leaned in close to Ashley's ear. Baby, can you do something for me? What I asked Ashley to do was simple. Keep Sarah thinking her plan was still working, and let her continue with the runaway act. In the Runaway Princess Wants Happiness group chat, Ashley sent a message. Sarah, Jason just told me he went out looking for you tonight and accidentally fell into an old well. He sprained his ankle. She followed up with a photo of my swollen ankle. Runaway princess. Oh no. Game over. I'm done playing. I'm going home. Big bro Mike immediately chimed in. Sarah, are you an idiot? He's obviously trying to trick you. Runaway princess. I'm so worried. Jason would never lie to me. Big bro Mike. He didn't say which hospital? I'll go check it out real quick. Ashley. He said Southside Hospital, emergency room. Southside Hospital was right next door to Mike's place, so it wouldn't be hard for him to check. As expected, the know-it-all big bro quickly reported back. See, I told you so. I asked around the ER. There's no patient matching his description. Runaway princess. A sympathy ploy? Big bro Mike. Obviously. He probably thinks if he spreads this rumor, you'll immediately show up. Ha, he underestimated us. I'm always one step ahead. Big bro Mike continued egging Sarah on. Keep him on ice for a few more days. Wait until he's completely out of ideas and going crazy. Then make your grand entrance. That'll have the best effect. Half the kingdom. Guys, I think that's enough. Don't take it too far. Runaway princess. Yeah, I'm getting worried too. Big bro Mike. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. If you go back now, all your efforts will be wasted. In the future, every time you run away, he'll use the sympathy card. The chat went quiet after that. As I predicted, Sarah snuck back home in the middle of the night. She quietly opened the front door and crept to the bedroom doorway. I had left the bedroom door slightly ajar on purpose. The room reeked of alcohol. Empty bottles were scattered across the nightstand and floor. In my drunken sleep, I even called out Sarah's name. When we were setting up the scene earlier, Ashley had worried we were overdoing it, that Sarah would feel bad and come comfort me. I just smiled. She won't. She always listens to Mike. Mike is like a god to her. If he tells her to keep stringing me along, she won't disobey. Sure enough, Sarah was relieved to see I was fine and quietly retreated. What she didn't know was that Ashley was sleeping in the guest room next door. Early the next morning, Sarah called Ashley. Did Jason go to work today? Ashley. No, he said he drank too much last night and his stomach hurts. He took another day off. Ashley, your boyfriend's voice sounds just like Jason's. If I hadn't snuck home last night to check, I would have thought you were with Jason. Ashley laughed. He loves you so much. How could he allow a third person to come between you? Unless dash. Unless what? Sarah suddenly sounded nervous. Unless you cheated first and became the third person yourself. Sarah's voice rose in alarm. My dear sister, we've known each other for so many years. You wouldn't betray me and tell him what I confided in you that day, would you? Ashley laughed again. Of course not. He loves you so much, and you love him. True love is unbreakable. Sarah's tone turned smug again. Yeah, the more I do this, the tighter Jason clings to me. Sometimes it gets annoying how clingy he is. Sis, when you find a boyfriend, don't pick one who tries to control your every move. It's better to have some freedom. What Ashley didn't know was that Sarah had pursued me first in college. She would bring meals to my dorm every day, call to wake me up in the morning, save me seats in class, and sign me in. When I scored a basket on the court, she would jump up and cheer adoringly. After a while, everyone assumed she was my girlfriend. On Valentine's Day our junior year, she ran up on stage and confessed her love for me in front of all our classmates. Gradually, I developed feelings for her too. But once she had me, her true colors started to show. She was selfish and unreasonable, holding me to impossible standards while doing whatever she wanted. If I so much as spoke to another girl, she would immediately give me the cold shoulder. Meanwhile, she was constantly flirting with Mike. Whenever I called her out on it, she would insist Mike was like a sister to her since they grew up together. Over the years, all our friends knew I had a jealous girlfriend. Female classmates wouldn't even dare invite me to their weddings. The only place Sarah and I were truly compatible was in bed. Before Ashley, she was the only woman I had slept with. Her soft body and the way she moaned my name always drove me wild. But after her 10th disappearing act, I was truly exhausted. Ashley's appearance was like a ray of light, illuminating for me what love should really be: mutual giving, not just taking. Though I admit men are driven by physical desires, we still long to feel warmth and respect. Ashley gave me everything I could never get from Sarah. I had a big surprise planned for Sarah. 2 days later, on a Saturday, I called Mike. Mike, Sarah's been gone for a month now. This time, I think she's really done with me. I feigned distress. Our wedding was supposed to be in 3 months. It's too late to cancel. We've already sent out invitations and told all our family and friends. So Dash. So what? Mike sounded tense on the other end of the line. So, I've decided to forget about her and move on. I met a girl the other day, and we're planning to elope. Also, seeing her things just reminds me of her. I need to be responsible to my new girl, so if you see Sarah, please let her know I've sent all her stuff to her office. Jason, you dash. I cut him off with a sniffle and hung up. I sat in the rocking chair on the balcony playing a game on my phone, enjoying the warm sunlight. 20 minutes later, there was loud pounding at the door. Our male lead had arrived right on cue. Jason, you lucky bastard. Sarah still loves you. She'll be here any minute. I pretended to be shocked. Really? Sarah still loves me? She's been gone a month. I thought she'd forgotten all about me. Mike impatiently cut in. She cries and calls your name in her sleep every night. She's been worried sick about you. Isn't that love? I feigned surprise. How do you know she calls my name in her sleep? Unless you too. Mike panicked for a second. Don't overthink it. We slept in separate beds. She only has eyes for you. I laughed inwardly. Mike, you don't even see yourself as a man, do you? 10 minutes later, our female lead made her entrance. Sarah threw herself into my arms, sobbing. Jason, I've missed you so much. I pushed her away. She looked at me in shock. What's wrong? Are you still mad at me? I promise I'll never do anything so stupid to hurt you again. She tried to hug me again, but I dodged. Sarah, how exactly did you miss me? By crying in another man's arms every night? You have an interesting way of showing you miss someone. Sarah stared at me in disbelief. Jason, what are you talking about? Mike, and I really didn't dash. I tuned out her protests as I slowly opened my laptop and pulled up the surveillance footage. In a dimly lit bar, a girl in a black lace dress was dancing provocatively. With glassy eyes, she was yanked into a man's arms. After a passionate kiss, she stumbled as he dragged her into a shadowy corner. The next second, he roughly picked her up and the two started going at it right there. Sarah fell to her knees in front of me, sobbing uncontrollably. Jason, forgive me. It was just that one time with him, I swear. I was so drunk, I thought he was you. She clung desperately to my legs, then whirled to point at Mike, who was standing frozen to the side. It was him. Mike seduced me. I love you so much. I would never be interested in another man. I laughed coldly and turned to Mike. Well, Mike, what do you have to say for yourself? What kind of lowlife tries to sleep with his friend's girl? Mike and I were college roommates. Once, I overheard him telling someone he'd had the hots for Sarah for a long time. But back then, Sarah only had eyes for me. So all these years of hanging around me was just to get to Sarah. Even though he knew I hated those places, Sarah would always drag me to bars to meet up with Mike. She seemed to enjoy making me jealous. Last night, Ashley told me that she and Sarah weren't actually close friends. Sarah was her stepmother's daughter. Every time we all went out to eat, Sarah, who was usually so possessive of me, would insist on bringing along her stepsister Ashley. Ashley had never dated anyone. Sarah's goal in bringing her was to show off how happy she was with two men fawning over her. As for how I got that job, it had nothing to do with Sarah. Ashley said she had fallen for me at first sight at that job fair. But by then, I already had a girlfriend. At one dinner, when Ashley bent down to pick up a fallen spoon, she noticed Sarah's pale leg entwined with Mike's under the table. So Ashley had been waiting all this time, waiting for Sarah to reveal her true nature, waiting for me to finally see the light. Though I have to admit that men are driven by physical desires, we still long for warmth and respect. Ashley gave me everything I could never get from Sarah. I had prepared a big surprise for Sarah. Faced with my accusation, Mike's face turned red. He gritted his teeth. Jason, where did you get that surveillance footage? From your usual spot. Of course. You bastard, illegally obtaining private information. I'm going to sue Dash. Sue me, or sue the bar? I cut him off. Too bad for you. That bar is co-owned by my mom and aunt. Mike, when my girlfriend disappeared without a word, I accessed surveillance footage from my family's business to track her down. That's not illegal, is it? The trash in front of me immediately deflated. Jason, if I hadn't been so drunk that night, how could I have done something so awful to my bro's woman? Sarah only has eyes for you. She was just drunk and mistook me for you. If you really love her, you should forgive her this one time." He gritted his teeth, seeming to steel his resolve. "From now on, I'll cut off all contact with her." I scoffed. "Mike, you two must really be in love. Even after she threw you under the bus, you still try to protect her." I walked over and patted Mike on the shoulder. "Bro, if your wife can forgive your cheating, then I can forgive Sarah." I pointed at the woman sprawled on the floor, her face streaked with tears. Mike's eyes immediately filled with panic. "Jason, what are you? What are you planning to do? Jenny is pregnant. Don't you dare upset her." "Oh, so your wife is pregnant, and you come out here to fool around with someone else's woman to blow off steam? Dude, you really know how to have a good time." I pointed at the security camera on the ceiling. "Too bad you're too late." Jenny has been watching this whole scene play out live. Jenny was a college classmate of mine and Mike's. She was a quiet, innocent girl. Back then, Mike had pursued her relentlessly to win her over. When I found Jenny yesterday, she was still in disbelief because Mike had been playing his role so well. This whole time he had been by Sarah's side day and night, but he told Jenny he was away on a business trip. To make up for neglecting his wife, he had made a grand gesture of booking her the best postpartum care center in the south side of town. Yesterday, I had surveillance cameras installed in the house and connected the feed to Jenny's phone. I even made sure to use a high-definition camera so she could clearly see the evidence she would need for the divorce. I waved at the camera. "Jenny, make sure you save all this footage. It'll help you clean that scumbag out in the divorce." Before I could finish, a furious Mike lunged at me with his fist. Mike's punch ended up costing him $50,000. After all, it wasn't just my nose that was injured, but my fragile psyche as well. On the witness stand, I managed to squeeze out a tear. "I have germophobia. He slept with my fiancée, causing me to develop severe depression. He ruined me. Now I'm afraid to touch women." In bed, my traumatized self pinned my beloved Ashley underneath me night after night. Although my salary isn't low, Sarah had burned through most of my savings over the years. Mike's punch came at just the right time. Looking at the bank transfer notification, I smiled happily. I wouldn't have to worry about furnishing our new place anymore. To try to win back his wife's forgiveness, Mike started turning on Sarah. The former lovers got into a screaming match in the street, even coming to blows. Someone secretly recorded the whole thing and posted it online. Internet comedians had been desperate for new material. Now that they had stumbled on this juicy story, they milked it for all it was worth. Their saga quickly went viral, shooting to the top of the trending list. Jenny divorced Mike. At the hospital, she terminated a pregnancy that was already showing. Mike's father was so angry at his unfilial son that he ended up in the hospital too. The internet comedians still weren't done with Mike. Hordes of social media influencers started camping outside his office. Worried about the company's image, Mike was fired. The company Mike worked for was actually my subsidiary. I was the one who had gotten him the job in the first place. In the past, he would call me bro from a mile away. Now his co-workers were viciously calling out his ungrateful, backstabbing behavior and sleeping with his bro's woman. Depressed, Mike went on a drunken joyride and crashed into a truck. His spine was injured. He may never walk again. Sarah came pounding on my door again. I had changed the locks the day I found out about her and Mike. Last time, she caused such a ruckus banging on the door in the middle of the night that I had to call the police on her. But old habits die hard, I guess. I carried Ashley to the living room, and we made love on the floor, letting Sarah listen from outside. Unlike Sarah's wanton moans, Ashley was always restrained and shy. The first time Ashley and I were together, it wasn't until she went to the bathroom afterwards that I noticed the bloodstain on the sheets. No wonder she had bitten her finger and trembled the whole time. Outside, Sarah's pounding briefly paused. She cried out, "Jason, if you're man enough, open this door and let me in. I know who she is. I'll tear that bitch apart." I pinched Ashley's cheek. "Sorry, baby. We'll have to cut this short. I need to teach our visitor outside a lesson, so she stops disturbing us." Ashley got up and went to the bathroom. I opened the door. Sarah burst in, her face streaked with tears. "Jason, you accuse me of cheating, but you two must have been fooling around behind my back for a while now." She shot a hateful glance at the bathroom. "Even if it was cheating, we both cheated. You're just as much of a scumbag." I scoffed. "Sarah, even a dog knows not to bite the hand that feeds it. Do you even know how to spell the word loyalty? You're the one who betrayed our relationship first. Why should I stay faithful to a cheater? I threw some papers at her. Take a look for yourself. Try not to blush. She picked them up with trembling hands, glanced at them, then furiously tore them to shreds. It's fine. I have plenty more where that came from. I pointed at the drawer. A few days ago, a tabloid reporter had given me those as a gift. He was trying to butter me up in hopes of getting more juicy details from me. It was a thick stack of papers detailing Sarah and Mike's hotel check-ins over the past year, the bars they frequented together, photos of them dirty dancing, even screenshots of them making out in an elevator. I have to admit, the power of the internet is truly impressive. When I saw all this evidence, my heart went cold. All those times I had been frantically searching for her. She was out partying with another man. Sarah had sworn she only slept with Mike once when she was drunk. Later, she changed her story to say it happened twice. Eventually, even she lost track of how many times it was. Unfortunately, someone like her will never understand. For a man, the severity of a girlfriend's infidelity isn't measured by the number of times. Sarah lost all reason and started verbally attacking Ashley. She screamed at the bathroom. "Ashley, you shameless whore. It's because of you that Mom and Dad never liked me. You weren't satisfied with stealing our parents' love. You had to steal my man too. Ashley, if you've got any guts, come out here and face me." The door opened. Through a thin veil of steam, Ashley emerged wrapped in a long, soft towel. "Ah, did my man satisfy you?" Sarah sneered. "Ashley, have you no shame? I treated you like a sister, and you stole my boyfriend?" I pulled Ashley behind me and said sternly, "Sarah, you need to understand something. First of all, I'm not your man. I belong to myself. Secondly, I was the one who pursued Ashley. I was the one who went after her. Jason, you admit it then? You went after her while we were still together." She broke down in tears. "How could you forget? I'm your fiancé. I left, and you didn't even look for me? It must be because of her." I laughed coldly. "Sarah, did you enjoy the little game Mike planned for you? You keep saying you love me. But tell me, if I loved you by torturing and tormenting you, if I loved you by greedily enjoying your body intolerance, while happily accepting other women throwing themselves at me, would you want that? Do you think that's love?" I stared at the tear-stained, stunned woman in front of me. I admit, before I officially broke up with you, I had already fallen for Ashley. If you hadn't been so entangled with Mike, if you hadn't listened to his idea to run away over and over to torture me, how could I have given up on you? After all, I loved you for 3 years. Sarah, a breakup is just words. It doesn't need any ceremony. I said those words in my heart the moment I discovered your secret with Mike on the street corner. Sarah left dejectedly. Later, Ashley told me that Sarah went home crying to her parents, saying her sister had stolen her boyfriend. Sarah's mother wanted to speak up for her daughter, but when she saw the viral videos of her daughter's scandalous behavior online, she immediately shut her mouth. Though her daughter had always been willful and selfish, her mother never dreamed she would do such shameful things with a married childhood friend. Everywhere they went, people whispered and pointed behind their backs. Sarah was utterly humiliated. She developed depression and spent her days huddled in bed, threatening suicide. In the end, she jumped from a building and broke her leg. Epilogue. 3 months later, my wedding went ahead as planned. My parents were thrilled with their graceful, kind, and filial new daughter-in-law. On our wedding night, I carried Ashley to the bed. I gently massaged her feet, placing them on my lap. "Does that feel good, Mrs. Chun?" I asked. "Not good enough," my wife replied, her eyes soft. She lightly stroked my thigh with her other foot. At some point, this reserved woman had become a seductress, but only for me. I pounced on her. "That's just what I was waiting to hear." Outside, a gentle breeze blew under the clear moon. Inside, it was as warm as spring. To have found such a wonderful partner for life. What more could I ask for?